This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Monday, the 20th day of September in the year 2021. I'm Gordon Mosley, and here's what we're tracking tonight. The spread of coronavirus cases has increased rapidly all across the country, especially here in Georgetown and in Region 4. The Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, revealed today that there are positive COVID-19 cases in every ward of Georgetown. He said citizens need to take precautions as the numbers continue to climb.
In Georgetown, again, every ward of the town, we have cases. The ones that stand out would be Kitty at 84, Sophia with 75 cases, South Rhymeveld with 48 cases, Lodge with 43 cases, Campbellville 41, West Rhymeveld 41, Cummins Lodge 39.
The health minister said the numbers could be higher in those areas if more testing is done. Similarly, he said some regions are not testing as they should, pointing out that all the regions except regions 3 and 4 can do much more testing to identify cases. The health minister said because there's less testing in those regions, the number of positive cases may not represent the true situation in the regions.
So it's an underestimate of what is currently happening in those regions. Nevertheless, in terms of hotspots in Region 1, we have the most cases in Port Kaituma, where we have about 21 cases, and at Mabaruma we have 12 cases.
In Region 2, Charity and Onderneming are identified as the hotspot areas that need urgent attention.
In Region 3, we have seen a rapid increase in cases over the last week, and now we have 65 cases in Tushin, we have 45 cases in Parfaith Harmony, we have 36 cases in Port Ryan, Santa Mission we have 35 cases, and at CI we have 33 cases.
Region 4 continues to record the highest number of positive cases, with Diamond, Grove, Eccles, Susdyke, Tamari and Herstelling identified as the hotspots for the east bank of the Marara, while on the east coast, Monterepo, Haslington, Better Hope, Enterprise, Lusignan, Paradise, Good Hope, Plaisance as well as Enmore are identified as the hotspots. Guyana has recorded over 4,000 new COVID-19 cases since the start of September. More news coming up in just a moment.
It's been a long time coming. Overdue, some might say. But now that it's here, it will change life forever. And it is here to stay. The future is now. Transforming Guyana into the 21st century. Introducing GTT Fiber. Experience internet connectivity like never before. Speeds you deserve at prices you can afford from a name you can trust. Sign up today. GTT Fiber is here. GTT. Together, we rise faster.
Strap in.
You know that it is a fact. The deal on wheels is back.
For family,
Deal on wheels.
for security,
That's a fact.
for fun.
Deal on wheels.
Republic Bank Deal on Wheels is back. With same-day approval, reduced equity, longer repayment terms, and more. Plus, 3 lucky winners would win $100,000 each. Get the ride for you at Republic Bank.
Mom, what are you doing with GPL on your list?
Child, you forgot I have to pay GPL?
You got time with GPL.
I have to keep these lights on. The customers who think in that manner and refuse to honor their obligation to GPL are obviously not playing their part in ensuring quality service delivery. So, I will continue to pay my GPL bill on time, every time.
I recognize the value of your point, Mom. You were right.
We've got exciting news! All 12-ounce yellow cab Buster are now only $100. Buster, live in
Come
full
get
color.
your Buster, Buster $100. Come get your Buster, Buster $100.
GBTI, make your dreams of owning a home a reality. Buy or build your home with us. Let us help you to completely outfit your home and make it move-in ready. Need to purchase land? We finance that too. Benefit from our 10% down payment and interest rates as low as 4.25%. Calculated on the reducing balance with up to 30 years to repay. Switch your mortgage to us and learn about benefiting from the equity in your home. Invest wisely. Apply online or call your branch to schedule an appointment. GBTI, we see Guyana through your eyes.
September has overtaken the month of May as the deadliest month for COVID-19 in Guyana. Today, the Ministry of Health reported on the deaths of 8 more persons from the virus. Yesterday, they reported on the deaths of 12. The country's death toll now stands at 733, with 108 of those deaths being recorded in the past 20 days. The month of September has also taken the lead as the month with the highest number of new cases. Over 4,000 new cases of the virus have been recorded so far this month. The country is now averaging more than 250 new cases per day. Health officials remain concerned about the situation as the number of hospitalizations also continue to climb. There are currently 30 persons in the COVID-19 intensive care unit. As reports surfaced over the weekend that the World Health Organization has suspended the approval process for Russia's Sputnik V COVID-19 vaccine over manufacturing concerns, Guyana's Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony is assuring citizens who took the vaccine that they are safe and the vaccine is above board.
The vaccine, Sputnik V, is safe because we have seen the results published in the Lancet, which is one of the most prestigious journals in medicine. And in the publication, it talks about the efficacy of the vaccine.
Russia first applied for approval from the WHO for its vaccine in February, but has not yet received an emergency use listing. Guyana is the only country in CARICOM that is administering the Sputnik vaccine. The country is already facing major problems with delivery, as there are over 80,000 persons awaiting their second dose of the vaccine for months. The health minister said he remains confident that the Sputnik vaccine will be given the green light from the World Health Organization.
So I'm sure once that is completed, that we will see the process of getting the emergency use listing restarted, and hopefully we'll see it come to its finality, where they'll be given the emergency use listing.
Dr. Anthony also said even though the vaccine has not been approved, more than 70 countries are now administering the jab.
So the vaccine is working, and a lot of people around the globe has already received the vaccine, and it seems to be working quite well.
The World Health Organization had previously raised concerns about the vaccine during another inspection at a factory in Russia. With several questions raised about the various relief grants distributed by the government and calls for a full audit of all those grants, the Auditor General of Guyana, Audit Sharma, today revealed that there has been some difficulty in auditing the relief grants programs because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Just recently, the Ministry of Agriculture launched its own probe into flood relief grants after receiving reports of several allegations of fraud. The Auditor General admitted that the pandemic has created a problem for his office, and the office has found itself facing difficulties while trying to audit the various documents.
No, because, one day we are there and the second day we have COVID issues, so some of the regions has been locked down, so we can't really go in as usual. So that's why I've taken it.
Mr. Sharma said his office and his staff members are doing their best to get the work done in places where they could get the work completed.
But we have been, wherever possible, wherever I have my staff, they have been checking on the payment. And if the press has any information, concern, complaints, you're also welcome to forward it to the audit office.
And he also emphasized that although there have been difficulties, the work is being done and reports will be issued on the cash grants eventually.
The cash grant system, presently we are auditing it. They have submitted the financial statement. As you know, it's across the country, but as a while the staff were doing the audit for 2020. We visited, I also visited Region 2 to ensure that the Guyanese people have received their money, or if there's any complaint, I have asked that in case they have a complaint, please, there's a specific site on my website, you can make those complaints. But it's presently been audited. It's taken a little time because it's across the regions.
At least 2 opposition parties have called for audits to be done of the various cash grants being issued by the government. Billions of dollars have already been disbursed under the various grants, and the issues of accountability and transparency are now under scrutiny. The Customs Anti-narcotics Unit is hoping to get more drug traffickers to pinpoint the persons in the background of the drug trade in Guyana and the big fishes that are behind the scene. Head of KANU James Singh on Saturday told reporters that many of the traffickers would refuse to give any information when arrested. He said still KANU will be continuing its push to break up the drug trade.
Because we recognize the fact that even though we may take a person before the court, there are some challenges. Persons are getting bail for a smaller amount, or in some cases, believe it or not, persons are stepping forward to claim ownership in an attempt just to shield the real big fish, as you may say. So these are areas that we have to look at, because it's not just about KANU instituting the charge. It would be GRA, SOCO, and other agencies.
On Saturday, the police in KANU destroyed 2,000 pounds of cocaine and 2,000 pounds of marijuana during one of their destruction exercises. The head of KANU said persons need to realize that the drug trade is not worth destroying their lives for.
From our standpoint, we want to ensure that we fulfill the mandate set out by the government, both the police and our unit, to stem the flow of narcotics in Guyana, whether it's cocaine, marijuana, but also not just shipment, but dealing with the communities, working, as you said, with the youths to recognize that drugs are not the way. It may offer a fast buck, but at long term, there's no benefit from it.
Mr. Singh also said KANU will continue to work with local and international agencies to boost the drug fight. Similar views were shared by the Minister of Home Affairs, Robson Bannon.
One of the areas relate to overflights of Guyana. There was intelligence with respect to a number of overflights over southern Guyana, southern and the middle portion of Guyana. There was a thought at one point that they were going to land in Guyana. We tried to scramble assets, helicopters and planes to intercept. That took some time. We were able to provide the intelligence onwards to our neighboring countries, and they responded, and as a result they got significant seizures of cocaine and also I think 2 or 3 planes. The destruction of and the holding, I think, of another, in Suriname at least.
Guyana has been stepping up the fight against narco-trafficking, but continues to face new and emerging traffickers. The Guyana Sugar Corporation, GuySuCo, has reached an agreement with the Guyana Agricultural and General Workers Union, GAWU, ending protests by sugar workers of the Albion estate, which started on Friday. Top officials of GuySuCo and GAWU met on Sunday to address the concerns of the cane cutters, who have been complaining about their low salaries as the cost of living rises. The union and the company agreed that the situation with the workers at Albion was unusual, since the recent floods have affected the crop and the workers are usually paid based on the amount of cane harvested. The union said it articulated that a worker's task is assigned by the management with the expectation that certain tons of canes would be harvested from the assigned area. GAWU contended that the fact that the workers were earning far below the normal level, though they were completing their assigned task, was because of light canes. The union added that the workers were responsibly completing their task, but for their best efforts, their earnings were curtailed. GuySuCo has agreed that for this crop only, and only at Albion, the workers will be compensated for the difference between their usual productivity per punt and the actual canes cut and loaded. GuySuCo said to receive the compensation, the workers would have to complete their task assigned. The agreement also places a limitation on the task assigned to workers in keeping with long-standing practices. The union has welcomed the agreement and said it augurs well for cooperation between the union and the company as efforts continue to develop the sugar industry. A 26-year-old boat builder was stabbed to death and his brother was badly injured late on Saturday night in an attack at the Vredenhoop Stelling. Dead is Sigmund Gavaya, while the injured brother has been identified as Neville Gavaya. According to a police report, the 2 brothers were at the Stelling when the boat builder objected to the use of an area by a group of men who arrived there by boat. A row started between the boat builder and the suspect, and it was during the confrontation that the suspect pulled out a knife and stabbed the boat builder to the abdomen. The boat builder's brother, who was in the same area at the time, rushed to his brother's aid, but he too was attacked and stabbed. He sustained wounds to one of his arms and his chest. The suspect left the scene in the same boat that took him to the area, while the two injured brothers were rushed to the nearby Western Marara Hospital. The younger brother, Sigmund Govaya, was pronounced dead on arrival, while the older one, Neville, was hospitalized with his injuries. The 25-year-old suspect was arrested at Breeden Hoop on Sunday. The investigations into the deadly incident are ongoing. The U.S. Embassy here in Georgetown announced this morning that a U.S. naval ship, Burlington, conducted a joint training exercise with the Guyana Defense Force Coast Guard on Saturday. According to the statement, the operation included countering illicit trafficking operations and monitoring techniques. The U.S. naval ship has been in the region conducting operations with Guyana, Trinidad and Tobago, and Suriname. The USNS Burlington is the U.S. Navy's 10th expeditionary fast transport vessel. The vessels are versatile, non-combatant, and transport ships that are being used for high-speed transportation of troops, military vehicles, and equipment. The embassy said the vessels support a variety of missions, including overseas contingency operations, humanitarian assistance and disaster relief, support of special operation forces, and theater security cooperation activities, and emerging joint sea basing concepts. The U.S. has restated its commitment to strengthening the capabilities of partners in Guyana for the security and prosperity of the region. Guyana and the U.S. reached an agreement last year for increased training of security personnel and more joint monitoring of the waterways.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach. But we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
We've got exciting news! All 12-ounce yellow cab Buster are now only $100. Buster, live in
Come
full
get
color.
your Buster, Buster $100. Come get your Buster, Buster $100.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right, walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong. Be the one to live right.
It's been a long time coming. Overdue, some might say. But now that it's here, it will change life forever. And it is here to stay. The future is now. Transforming Guyana into the 21st century. Introducing GTT Fiber. Experience internet connectivity like never before. Speeds you deserve at prices you can afford from a name you can trust. Sign up today. GTT Fiber is here. GTT. Together, we rise faster.
Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up. Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Across the region tonight, Trinidad and Tobago's Police Commissioner Gary Griffith has been told by the Police Service Commission there not to report for duty until further notice. In a letter to the police commissioner, the Police Service Commission determined that it was not in the public's interest or the interest of the police service to have Griffith on the job while retired Justice Stanley John is conducting an investigation into firearms license. John was appointed by the Police Service Commission to investigate reports that the process for the issuance of firearm users license, a process in which the Commission is central, has been contaminated by corrupt elements, in that applicants are being asked to pay not only for expediting the license, but in order to receive the license. It was on the basis of the John investigation that the Commission directed Griffith to cease with immediate effect to report for duty until further notice. In the letter, the Commission referred to a previous letter dated the 1st of September, in which the Commissioner was made aware that the Commission caused an investigation into certain matters to be initiated. In neighboring Venezuela, a United Nations fact-finding mission has found that Venezuela's justice system has played a significant role in the state's repression of government critics. Venezuela's judiciary lacked independence and had allowed serious human rights violations to go unchecked, its report concluded. Public officials have been able to commit crimes with impunity, the report found. The Venezuelan government has not yet commented on the report. The team conducted 177 interviews and analyzed 183 detentions of people who are or whom the government perceived to be opponents. It found that detainees had been subjected to torture, including sexual violence, and that some had been arbitrarily deprived of life. And finally tonight, international news. The United States is easing its coronavirus travel restrictions, reopening to passengers from the UK, the EU and other nations. From November, foreign travelers will be allowed to fly into the US if they are fully vaccinated and undergo testing and contact tracing. The US had tough restrictions on travel in place since early last year. The move answers a major demand from European allies and means that families separated by the restrictions can now be reunited. White House COVID-19 coordinator Jeff Zients announced the new rules on Monday, saying it's based on individuals rather than a country-based approach, so it's a stronger system. U.S. restrictions were initially imposed on travelers from China in early 2020 and then extended to other countries. The current rules bar entry to most non-U.S. citizens who have been in the UK, the EU, China, India, South Africa, Iran and Brazil within the last 14 days. Under the new rules, foreign travelers will need to demonstrate proof of vaccination, having a negative COVID-19 test result, and provide contact information. They will not be required to quarantine. Officials said there would be some exceptions to the new policy, including for children who are not eligible to be vaccinated. It was not immediately clear if the new rules applied only to US-approved vaccines. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.